Hello, everyone. Mitch, Key,
Hey, how are
can you hear
you?
me? Hello,
Hello,
I'm good.
hello.
How about you?
Yeah, good.
Hello,
Great to chat with you.
indeed. How is everyone?
Yeah.
Let's see what Twitter Spaces has for us.
A super exciting time. I just
Yeah, it
got
is.
back from amazing meetings from partners. I'm still actually on my way. I should reach back in another few minutes, but it's an amazing time when the markets are down. People's focus shifts from the price action, and then they actually focus on the real things like building, and that's the amazing time I love. And all the conversation focuses on the next upcoming period and building the infrastructure towards it. So super thrilled.
Yeah, it's exactly
Great.
right. Kia, actually today as well, I had a couple of good meetings. I sent some details through to you. Some nice announcements coming up that we can put into the community next week. Some great partnerships. So we'll send that through to you. You can have a look at it and we can put it out next week.
Awesome. That's
Great. I'm
Yeah,
sure
it
the
is.
community is going to be thrilled to get all these updates.
But it is. It's exactly as Key says. Funny when people's sort of focus shifts away from price and you actually get down to what we're doing, which is building infrastructure and tools for Web3, it's great because you can sit down and really focus on the things that matters long term, and that's going to make a big difference. So it's been a lot of fun, and so many people. I think also people getting back from holidays now. I've just found that people are really open, receptive, keen to get together, have a look. Um, it's been really, really good. I've had a very productive couple of days, so it's been great.
And the most important part right now that I realize is that with the current times, when there's time and space, people are actually looking around and looking at what is in the market, what's happening in the technology space, and they are noticing that Web 3.0, that is the future. Because there could be a great amount of things happening around the NFTs and metaverses, DeFi and whatnot. But end of the day, the real growth is in the real world entities that's out there, and as those entities get into the crypto and blockchain space, the gateway for them is Web 3.0, because that is how they could connect their infrastructure to the Web 3.0 blockchain infrastructure. So Web 3.0 is the biggest opportunity for anything to realistically happen and grow within the blockchain space. So the more and more focus shifts there, people are looking at tools and ways through which they can build something, and forward keeps appearing in their radar, and it's exciting.
Mm. I was actually chatting to a guy today. They run an international company where they help businesses. It's a platform which helps businesses with staff recognition, etc. And just chatting to them about utilizing Forward and how it would connect and what have you. They were so bowled over. Um, we've actually got another meeting set up this week just to see how we're going to integrate and the possibilities. But so excited with what we're doing, the activity. I mean, the community blew them away. Looking at Telegram, looking at Twitter, just seeing the engagement, the excitement of people, and the potential. And I think that's a big hats off to the guys in the community, the mods, the members. It's amazing because there are people out there that are actually noticing that, and it makes our job a lot easier, which is great. So just keep doing what you're doing. It's wonderful.
Epic.
Yeah, definitely. I think the community is the driving force behind everything. If it wasn't for the community, it would just be, three people chatting and making plans for nothing substantial. So definitely.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Uh,
I mean, we just chatting to these guys, and they said like, "How long have you guys been around?" Asking different questions, etc. We're like just absolutely blown away how engaged. I mean, the things like the meme contest and the artwork that's coming up, and just the interest of people in different areas and the way they're putting it all together and the contributions. It's amazing. It really is a big credit to what's happening in Forward, and I'm so excited for the future because that's the foundation that it's all built on.
Definitely. Okay, so speaking about the community, what can they expect this coming week? What have we got in the works for the community? What can we announce right now? Shall we start with some specifics for the VIP club that is going to go live this week?
Sure, VIP Club is an amazing opportunity because end of the day, we need the most excited, most motivated audience who would be like the ones who would carry the flame and take the word across the countries and different communities, and it's a super exciting place to start. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So right now we're going to have the first community members joining the VIP club. And of course, the first ones will be the winners of the contest, the meme contest, and some of the most active users. Can you tell us a little bit about what these people, those first members, is going to look forward to? What are the perks that they're going to have in the VIP club?
Sure. So, one of the most important element is the accessibility, and they'll be able to access us and the team. Of course, every member in the community has access to us, but the opportunity to co-create with us, shuffle through the ideas and work on what's happening in our roadmap and discussing and sorting things out. In fact, we already had few members from the community reach out for beta testing as well. So, there are more and more members involved in the core aspect of the technology of the infrastructure that is being built up, and the access towards that and to converse and build it together is an exciting place. And more importantly, it is an avenue or opportunity to have access to information pretty much in getting ready, that's not fully out, that's getting ready in conversation. So those are all early perks, early access that makes the VIP club super exciting. But Tanay, why don't you also share everything and give the full information on the VIP perks?
Yeah, certainly. Okay, so besides the early access that all the members in the VIP club will have, they will also get the chance to talk with you, with Key and Mitch, one-on-one, and even discover new development plans and have the chance to pitch in. We always. I don't think the team believes that we have all the answers, we know everything. So even feedback from the community on what they want to see and how they want to see it is going to be taken into account when we move forward. So the VIP members will be the first ones to, give us that feedback that we need. So I think that's definitely going to be very exciting. And of course, they will be meeting all the team, all the core members. They will explore what we're doing, how each member fits in the team, and all that knowledge is going to be available to them. And of course, there are going to be other perks, like they're going to have a special tag in the community chat, and they will also have access to certificates that we're going to be issuing once our proof of ownership smart contract goes live. So that is going to be great sampling of our product as well. And is there anything else? I mean, we're going to have more announcements on those perks, but is there anything else that we can announce now, Kate?
That covers quite a bit, but one other important aspect is that it's a growing thing. So there are as the go forward is out there and some avenues around that, there might be some other interesting perks that would be added to it and updated as we go along. But for now, we wanted to get this kickstarted and get the early members in there, and then continue adding more value to it and making it more exciting than ever.
Okay.
I think, for me, the importance of the VIP club is that you're getting people that they are getting there because of actions they've taken in the community, and it's a recognition towards it. And from the team as well, we want to recognize them because they're very important in the contribution and what they bring to the project, their ideas, etc. And as that club grows, I think it's going to add massive value because we really do rely on the feedback. As you saw from GoForward and what's coming, and listening to the community and getting the third round together, we're going to get a lot of valuable inputs from people, and we actually need more people in there. We need lots of people to come along and to be part of it, because together we're stronger. The more people that are engaged and that are contributing, the better the platform is going to be for all of us, and the more impact it's going to have down the line. So I just want to encourage you, if you're listening and you're keen, there's going to be opportunities for you to come along and to participate, to see, have a look, and come and join us.
Definitely. And by the end of this week, we will be taking a look at our leaderboard, and we'll be deciding who are the most active members who are contributing the most, and they will be awarded a membership in the VIP club. So
sounds good.
Yeah. And of course, the easiest way to get access is to win in one of our contests. We just concluded the meme contest, and we have the art contest coming up, Forward Art Contest. Mitch, can you tell us a little bit about why we decided to run this contest? Is it just to, waste time, basically?
That's just amazing. When we had the meme contest, there were so many great pieces of art and ideas that came through. And I think when you look across the community, the creativity is unbelievable. And bringing those people in and allowing them a space to contribute from their strength is beautiful. I'm looking so forward to it. I love the meme contest, and I think that the art contest is going to be amazing. And they're going to be people that will contribute in different ways. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. I can't wait to see what the community brings.
Yeah. We actually got very, very interesting submissions in the meme contest that didn't actually qualify to be
it's exactly
memes.
Right.
So that's basically where we decided, right? Because they were very, we saw people putting in time to create some amazing pieces of art, and we don't want those to go unnoticed or unrewarded.
They were magic pieces. Some of them were insane. They were beautiful. Jeez, I can't wait to see the whole collection when it's done. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And for the memes that we rewarded the top 3, but of course the rest of them will not go unrewarded. We're going to have a meme pack that we're going to be releasing soon. So, I think the community is going to love that. There were some very funny memes and very, applicable to the situation that we're going through with the market and everything. So I think the community is going to have a good laugh with that.
Yeah, they were classic memes there. It was really good.
Okay, so last time that we talked with the community, we announced the third round, and we had some very vibrant feedback on that. So I think today it'll be good to address some of those questions. Let's see what we can reveal now, and the rest will be communicated very soon. So shall we start?
Yep.
Okay, so this is going to be the third token sale that we're going to be doing, and it's going to be the final one before the listing. Mitch, can you tell me why we decided to go for another one? Didn't we raise enough already? What is with the greed?
It's not about that at all. It's just about listening to the community. We had over 25,000 people whitelisted, and a very small percentage of that actually got access to, the SHO and the IBO and got tokens. So it's just an opportunity for people in the community that have really showed keen interest to have another chance. And I think it's a wonderful way of rewarding them, because it allows, more people to participate. And after all, that's what Forward is about. It's a community project. And we want people to, have an access. I know in some of the earlier rounds, people had difficulty and there was a bit of frustration. And this is just a way for, people to come in again and have another chance. And I think it's a fair way, because it's something that was voiced by the community, and it's something that the community will appreciate and partake in. And that just gives everybody another chance. And looking forward to that.
Okay. And that is going to happen in our very own launchpad, GoForward, which is not really a launchpad, is it? How would you describe Go Forward?
Well, it's based on
So
the
basically,
initial value offer.
Go Forward is an example of the initial value offering. It is the very first deployment of our IVO contract model or the concept. So, the whole objective of IVO is to help anyone with any form of value, whether it is courses or product, or if they're like a Kickstarter kind of a platform. Anyone could use the IVO to create and raise funds for themselves or for other products and projects in their community. So it is a form of a launch pad, but then the IVO, by the very nature of it, is just like anything on Forward Protocol. It's customizable, and it can be modified to suit anyone's need and purpose. So right now we have Forward's own, IVO around there, where we are giving opportunity for the members of Forward community to join in without having to hold any other tokens or whatsoever limitations, by making it so much easier and accessible to all members. But beyond that, this is going to show an example of how others could raise funds, even non-tokenized. Because whenever we talk about launch pads, the focus shifts towards only the token-related parts. But then the biggest market out in the world is not necessarily just on the tokens, but in how real businesses, entities, and products are funded and launched. That's sizably far bigger market, and there's a far bigger potential out there. And this IVU platform of Go Forward will act as a very beautiful example, a case to show that in point, and widen the perspective of what it is to raise funds and how it can work in a much more sophisticated manner. Because in the real world of raising funds, there is a sense of accountability and responsibility as well. And those elements are part of how the go forward model works, and the model of IVO as well. So it's much more than just a launch. It is a statement. It's how we respect the community. It is how we respect the voice of our audience, and it is also a great case for us to show to rest of the world, as more and more platforms want to use IVO for their own purpose. And it's easy to show them, saying, okay, hey, here's a successful deployment, here is how it went, and here's the feedback, take a look at it. And if you want your own platform, then sure, go to the Forward Factory, deploy your own one, customize, and go ahead live with it.
Okay, so once we do the third round of the token sale forwards sale, what is going to happen with the Go Forward platform? Is it going to be used by other projects, or can they create their own launchpads? What is in the books for Go Forward?
So ideally, obviously, any other platform using a Forward Factory, they can create their own launch pads as well if they want to do it, whether it's a tokenized, non-tokenized, whatever the case may be. That is definitely an option, because that's very nature of what our infrastructure product is all about. Forward Factories to allow other people to deploy their own platforms with customization. But beyond that, the Go Forward will have always an opportunity to have something interesting going on there. But I would say the first steps first. The Go Forward came to life for one reason. It is to make it an accessible thing for our members in the Forward community to have Forward tokens. So let's get on with that. And in the future, we will continue exploring different avenues of how Go Forward is going to assist our community. Again, end of the day, we always listen to community's feedback. So if community sees and wants something more and exciting happening there, then we are uh, always open for it as well.
Okay. Okay. So besides this launchpad and how it's going to be used by us, the IBO contract is already in the works for being used by some of our partners, right?
So, and this IVO or any of our contract, the whole idea behind is that it is something that will continue evolving, because we are releasing versions out there in the factory model. So the parent contract that we have in the factory will always be improvised and updated, enhanced with new functions and so on in the future. So right now there is this initial version which can be used for all the things that Go Forward will represent. But we'll continue expanding on that as well to make it have more functions, more utilities, more features in the days to come. It's an ever growing process, but yeah, there is this first set of contracts which can be used at this point.
Okay. Any specific partners that you can name who are going to be using it?
We will have to wait to announce that shortly, but we are in conversation with multiple exciting partners, and we will start naming it out in the time to come. And
Hmm.
each of the partners are going to be using it in slightly different ways, and that is what we are trying to exhibit or show in the process. Because any partner that we collaborate with, one of the important areas that we focus is to show the diversification. It's to show different ways something can be used because in the end of the day, if someone is going to deploy the exact same thing 100 times, they could just go to the factory in the future and deploy it. But what is important to us right now is to show the diversified use cases. The more use cases we are able to show, more diversified implementations we can show, it is going to help widen up the minds of everyone else looking at it as well. Oh, now there is this way something can be used, and the same thing can be used in five different ways. And when that reality hits, that is going to spark more creativity in the community, and it's going to help expand because forward is not a one way ecosystem. It's not a place where we develop everything and then people are using it. It's a developer friendly space. So it's a place where any other developer can come and create their own applications and own templates out there for others to use, and they can build a revenue model, build a business around it. If there are developers who have some extra time, they can always code a contract that they see a lot of members in the community need to use on a regular basis and put it live in the factory so that others can use it, and they make money every time there's a transaction going on there. So it is building like passive income for developers. It's for development companies and everyone. So it creates a very tangible business model, which is like the traditional revenue based business model that people are used to, and this ecosystem enables it. So our goal really is to inspire and to show the diversification possible, the models that's possible, and ignite that passion in more and more people, developers, the community, and the deploying platforms alike.
Okay, so wait, in order for the users of the Forward products to customize everything, they need to have like coding experience, they need to be developers?
Not at all. The whole point of Forward Factory is to make it a no-code interface. The idea is to provide them with a panel where they can not only deploy just the back end of the application or just the smart contracts, but also the front end connected to it. That's the biggest challenge in the space because you could give them easy to deploy smart contracts, but if there's no front end to it, then now they have to go find a developer who understands Solidity and APIs to connect it to create a front end and a design and whatnot, and then finally stitch it all together, make it work, test it, and from a DevOps perspective, from the test net, mainnet, it's just a lot of hazards, a lot of resources involved, and there is just not enough resources and accessibility. So our goal is to always make it as a no-code interface with few clicks. They can use it and go live. It comes with the front and back end, everything in a customizable form, and that's the whole premise of what Forward stands for. It is to enable adoption happen where any creative entrepreneur can get things to life.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's circle back to our third round that we're going to be contacting soon. What does the third round mean for the early investors? Is there for the people that actually got their tokens in the first and the second round? Are they going to be at a loss here? What does it mean for them that we're doing this third round?
It's very simple. It is no, they're not going to be at a loss because the total project's market cap at launch is kept the same because we're adjusting it with the liquidity that is there. So the number of tokens going out there is going to be the same. But at the same time, the project that is successful is not just a project where few hundred people make a lot of money on the first day of the launch, but it is really a opportunity for community to grow and thrive. The only projects that really succeed are those which has a community. Community is everything, right? So if a project is giving importance to its community, listening to the audience and giving them a fair chance to be part of it, then that is where community's loyalty is built. That's where the trust is built. Because obviously, it's beneficial to everyone in the early stages. If the members in the community are not given an opportunity, obviously that's how it appears, and that's how many businesses or many entities in the space operate. But that's again a form of centralization. The whole objective of what we do in blockchain is to make it fair, make it accessible, make it available to everyone. It's not a matter of greed, it's a matter of spreading. Spreading is what happens in community. You share with everyone the success, especially when you know for sure that something is going to be super successful. That is the hardest time to share, because you know it's going to be even more valuable. Then why share? You get the greed to retain, hoard, and that's exactly where things go wrong. But if there's a community setting, then that's a point where when you know for sure something great is about to happen, and then you still choose to share it with others in a model and form where they get to they get to profit from the journey, they get to enjoy the fruits of that success. That's when I believe the that's what the beauty is, because this community has, I mean, if you look at the community chats, of course there are a lot of messages out there about the day-to-day items out there, but there are amazing members in the community, like partners and developers, who come and ask the quality insights, and they come talk to us. I mean, I message some of them at times, and we initiate conversations, and it leads to amazing places. The community has been helping us build great partnerships and bring in amazing developments as well. So if the community is doing that, they need to also enjoy the fruits of it, and this entire process is to just do that.
Mhm.
So the end goal really is that, I mean, when a project is building that strong, loyal community, strong, loyal followers, it is to benefit everyone. It is going to benefit the members who were part of it before. I mean, the question is simple. They all came in because the project was great. That's why they invested. That's why they had to rush and buy out everything in 13 seconds, which could have easily lasted for 2 days or one day, whatever the sale timeline was. But they wanted to buy in at the 13 seconds. And would they rather be part of a selfish project which community is so small and they don't feel the loyalty and they die off 3 months from now, or would they rather be part of a project where the community is so strong that it thrives for years to come, growing and becoming some very larger ecosystem? So, and if someone really wants to only look at the short term of what is going to happen to them in the next few weeks, then probably their perspective is different. So I would like to stick with the community. What makes it stronger, makes it suitable for long term, for growth, for expansion, because as we release the forward chain, which is Cosmos based chain, and it's a growing ecosystem at the point. It's one of the wider layer one ecosystem possibilities there. Community is the one who has to do most of the heavyweight lifting in terms of getting more tabs and getting more development opportunities, speaking to more people and attracting more people to build on the chain and whatnot. I mean, it is going to be driven by the community like any other layer one, and for that to happen, this is a necessary part of the journey, and it is for benefit of everyone who can look at it from a long term perspective.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you.
I just
Mhm,
to
go
chip
ahead,
in
Mitch.
there. What I always look at is, and it does take a lot of patience, but if you think of what we're trying to achieve here ultimately, which is to impact 1 billion people by making blockchain adoption really simple and putting the functionality in people's hands, the average person, the person that might not be crypto blockchain savvy, that they can access it in a very easy interface. We really do have to start with that end in mind. So if that's where we're going, what is the foundation we're building? Is it a short-term, shallow foundation? Are we building deep roots? Do we need an engaged community that's going to help? Do we need people that, when they speak, we listen and we participate together? And exactly as Key said, I think it's so important that the whole community knows that we are, we're working towards an end goal, and that end goal is not a 3-month focus. It's something that is years to come, and it will have integration partners. It will have people that can work together, and to do that, we need a solid foundation. And as Key said, it's going to rely a lot on community. It's going to rely a lot on people helping, and giving more people the opportunity up front is the best way to do it, because it creates the engagement, it creates the synergy, and it creates that bond which we want, so that we can work together to really create a platform that has massive impact in, right across the value-driven economy. And Forward has that potential. It has the potential to be something really enormous, and the community is going to be the foundation of whatever we build.
Okay. Okay, these are, very, very valid points. However, we all know that, the crypto space has some specific characteristics that are sort of innate and very, let's say, very dry, very cynic. And what we are saying right now might sound a bit romantic. Do we have any basis on why we say this?
You're right in saying that the crypto space is sort of cynic, because if you look at the culture of spaces, so traditionally inside crypto, you've got an audience that it's like an in-house party. People understand it, they understand the lingo, they understand the terminology, and there's a specific sort of a model that people operate on, and a certain expectation that people have. And then outside, you have the bulk of the population, you have most people. So if you had to think just as a pure mathematical equation, if you had 100,000 people inside a space that were participating, or you gave those same people the opportunity of adding another billion people to that space, with them, having the opportunity for potential, I mean, where do they see the greatest potential? And that's where Forward is. It's the middle ground between the value-driven economy and the crypto space, where we can create tools that are easy to use. And when we do that, it does take a little bit of a mindset shift, because traditionally in the crypto space, we have the sort of buy, sell, trader type mentality. But I think as the space matures, and as people really understand, where the benefit actually lies long term for themselves individually, for their families, and how the space, as it develops and matures, creates that opportunity for them, I think you'll gain that understanding. And that's where a little bit of education comes in. It's where you actually take the time to read the white paper, understand what we're trying to achieve as a community and as a project. And when you do understand that, you just won't sleep at night, because the potential and the possibility is so enormous. And the more people that have the mentality that they're in it for a longer term, the better it is for everybody, because it just creates the impetus and the momentum to create something that lasts on a really solid foundation. So we do sit in that sort of middle ground now, where until mass adoption actually happens, people have one point of view, but that point of view over time will change, the same as it changed. If you look at monetary history through ages, when they introduced credit cards, when they introduced bank accounts, etc., people's perspective changed over time. They were threatened by certain things at the beginning, but once they saw that there was mass adoption of certain technologies, they accepted it, because it was better for the majority, and it created an opportunity for the majority. And I think exactly the same thing is going to happen here. And I just encourage anybody, just get educated, go and learn about it, read about it, figure out what we're trying to do. And when you do, you'll find that the opportunities far outweigh the opportunity losses, and the short-term gains would far easily be outstripped by the long-term gains, because of what we're setting up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Okay, so let's go back to our third round again. We talked about listening to the community and doing this because of the community. So, which members of our community are going to be able to participate in this round?
This is completely open, so we would, we are still finalizing the specifics to put up a detailed rule sets in a Medium article, which will share the insights. But this is open for all. There is really no restriction. They don't have to hold anything. They don't, and those prerequisites of holding something or other doesn't exist. So there will still be a whitelist process. There will be a KYC process, obviously, but people are going to have sufficient time. I do see people, really waiting throughout the day for it, but they don't have to because, the KYC process, once it's announced, they'll have sufficient time to complete the KYC and prepare themselves. And then the whitelisting process starts. So there will be time for people to do each of those activities, and they need to pass the KYC, they need to get the whitelisting process done, and then they'll be able to take part in it. They don't have to hold any tokens to take part. There'll be pools, and the allocation sizes would be announced per pool as well. And at this point, I can say that we are definitely keen on keeping the allocation size for all pools similar. We are looking at making sure we incentivize everyone who have been in this journey with us all this while, and we would be creating the pools based on the right combination that would make it fair for everyone who has been with us in this journey.
Okay, so what will the KYC process look like?
It's a standard system because in any platform we're all incorporating the similar KYC providers. So it's the same process that they have all been used to with other launch pads or exchanges, whatnot. It's a simple process where they where to go in and provide the required documents and whatnot. And most of them would be instantly approved, and others who might need manual review would get approved manually shortly thereafter. But then the specifics of the KYC provider and the process will also be shared, so they can go through. But that's going to be a very straightforward thing because they all have, that's something that everyone has experienced numerous times through different platforms that we all are part of.
Okay, so will regional restrictions apply here?
The restrictions of certain countries and regions will apply, yes, and we have taken every possible measure to keep the limitation as lower as possible. But the standard restrictions that is applicable in most other launchpads and exchanges will also apply here. We'll also share the list of specifics soon.
Okay. Will there be a limit in the participation?
Of course, every user will have a cap limitation. So, if they are successfully whitelisted and completely verified, they'll be able to take part within the limit of the cap set per user. But that is going to be really the one limitation, and of course, the overall hot cap of. So, when we are running the IVU round, we are going to have a limit. It is that is allowed. So, uh, the people who come in through the process uh, would be able to leverage it until that cap is not available anymore.
Okay. And is a first come, first served model going to be followed? And all these are questions from the community that I'm asking, by the way. So if the community has any more, please feel free to pitch in.
So that will depend on the pool. We will again will finalize and share that in the Medium article. We will share the details on if first come first serve model will be applicable. But yes, I would appreciate a little bit of patience while we finalize it because we're also consulting with amazing communities and members to make sure that this is something that everybody is liking about. So we just want to make sure it is wrapped nicely with all the essentialities in there.
Okay. And what about the people who got their tokens on the first and the second round? Will they be excluded?
We are not necessarily excluding anyone here. So if they do want to try to participate, they could because they are in the forward community. So we are not blocking them and excluding them. But it is nice if they can definitely let the path for other members who have not had the chance in the previous rounds to take part, because the whole goal is to bring more members in the community have it. So and it's just a request there. No, we are not blocking them or we're not doing anything along those lines.
Okay. Thank you for your answers. I'm sure the community is going to be very happy to hear that. And also, we have some updates in our roadmap. Would you care to comment to explain a little bit what is happening, what is shifting around, and why it's shifting?
Okay, sure. So we have pushed on the portion about the initial value offering and proof of ownership earlier in the timeline because of our go forward is going live. So or in a more advanced stage, and it is better to use more partner deployment along those lines. So we just prioritize those two contracts as the much earlier on before others, and at the same time, obviously the exchange listing part has been carried forward. We are waiting for the right time to list it, and as we all know, we have multiple confirmed exchange listings, and in fact right now that is only increasing. So this is becoming even more exciting because back then we had uh, three confirmed exchange listings, and right now in fact we have a couple more that we are in the final stages of finalizing. So we just have more and more exchange listings being lined up. So once the timing is right, we would get that rolling out, and before that happens, we would have the some of the product related updates as well lined up.
Okay. Why are we not listing it? This is a very popular question in the community. Can you remind me again why we're not listing?
So there are multiple reasons. It's the members in the forward community have been asking about having the opportunity to be a holder before the listing goes live. So it is a necessary time that it takes to get this part of the go forward live and process this. That's one thing. And second, when it comes to the product releases, we do wanted to also have a couple of interesting elements that we are working on, which we are not announced yet, which we are looking to announce before we get it listed. So those product developments are very important because we are a fundamental based project. We are not just here to launch a couple of tokens out there and uh, you know pretty much trade as a business. That's not what we are here to do. We are an infrastructure provider. So the products and the roadmap is very important to what we do, and getting those things ready before the listing is super exciting for us. And we're also constantly consulting with various members in the expert team of our advisors and so on for the best time to list, because everything is a matter of timing. This project was not just started 3 months back. We have been working on this since 2018. We could have launched in 2018. We could have launched in 2020 or in 2021 early bull run. We didn't do that. We didn't chase just those runs. We were building it all along to make something strong and fundamentally rich, and that's what we have built so far. So our focus is much more practically building something solid, which ideally means every step of the way has to be done right. Of course, that there might be urgency for different reasons and different for different parties at different times, but the end goal is to make sure every step is a strong step, every step is a successful step, because every time we tumble, every wrong step that we take, it is going to take us a much longer time to fix it. It's going to take us much longer time to make it right. So instead, sometimes a little more delay to do it right and do it at the right time when everything is perfect is much more ideal, and we are just building towards that. And most importantly, we are not sitting here chilling for the right time. We are busy developing, producing, being productive, creating things, meeting people. In fact, this is something that I mentioned even last time. I'm right now at Dubai, where all the action is happening, where a lot of members from the crypto community, developers, and even governmental organizations and many adoption-focused entities, they're all here, and a lot of action is happening here. So if there is any member in the community in Dubai, I would be very happy to meet them as well. So we are busy building, and that I believe is, from a timeline perspective, it is important to time it right and do it when everything is super structured, so that there is an amazing, beautiful domino effect when we go live and list it. From a product side, from a fundamental side, from a listing standpoint, and whatnot, and to also validate that we are most of the members in the community, they already know the exchanges that we are part of, or where things are, where in some exchanges where even our deposits are open technically. So we are going there, everybody knows that. It's just a matter of when, and the right reasons are just stated above. So I hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you. Any other updates on the roadmap that we need to address?
I don't think so, but if there is any question, specific question, I'll be happy to answer.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what you just mentioned. Mitch, would you like to add anything on that answer?
No, I think it's just for the community to understand that we have got a very qualified team of experts that are helping us and advising us in the best steps to take for the project. And as Key said, it's a long-term project. We want to make certain that we take the right steps and that they're done at the right time. And it is always with the community in mind. How do we actually impact 1 billion people down the line? How do we do that? We do it from solid foundations. We do it with solid steps forward, and we do things at the right time. We don't rush it for short-term gain. And that's back to where the education comes in. Go and have a look at what we're trying to do. Read about it. Learn. Go and read the white paper. See what Forward really is. And get excited about that, because when you do and you realize the potential, you'll say, guys, make the right steps. You'll support us in that. And that's all we ask, because, as a team, we're working together and we see the community as part of the team. And, we value the input that we're getting. So it really is important that, when we get advice, we take the advice, and we really do the proper research before we move on. And that's what we're going to do continually as we do it. And as Key said, we are extremely busy with integration partners, with development, expanding the team, finding the right people to partner with, because that is all part of creating that explosive growth that'll come once we list and the integration partners start utilizing the smart contracts and we start rolling it out. So it really is exciting. I know it does take patience, and I know sometimes it's so frustrating when people ask the same questions and you get the same answers and you wonder, geez, when is this thing actually going to happen? But it's happening. That foundation, the growth under the ground, it's all there. And when it does actually germinate and we list, it's going to be something that'll be beautiful and will grow fast. And that's what we're looking forward to. So we appreciate the patience and we appreciate the support, but it's going well, and we really are making fantastic progress, which is good.
Oh, I just got a
Okay,
message
great.
in the community about where they are in Dubai and wanting to meet. So I'm hopefully
That's
looking at
cool.
for tomorrow, day after, to meet. So I'll be more than welcome to check in with anyone else as well. Maybe it could be a very nice meetup of few members from the community. Is a nice little event, and of course, if the members of the community are not anonymous or wanting to hide, then definitely I'll be happy to share some pictures as well after the meeting.
Wow. It would be great if you could have a call with the community while you're meeting some of them there, so we can all join in.
Yeah, that'd be magic.
Okay.
Don't hug him to yourself, guys. We also want to hear what he's going to say.
Yes. Okay, so Mitch, you said something, and it just occurred to me that the community knows you, knows Key, knows me now, knows a couple of members, the mods, but I don't really realize what is going on behind the scene. Um, could you give us like a rough estimate of how many people are on the Forward Protocol team and they're working to make everything happen?
Sure.
Yeah, well, yeah, you go, Keith.
Yeah, so I really when we started this process of the SHO, IBO, etc., we had about 35 people back then. But right now we have even further expanded. I think just in the last month or in the last less than 20 days, we have added over 4 to 5 new members, and we are adding 2 to 3 more probably in the next week. So we are kind of adding members on two primary areas, because one is on the development tech side, because it's always and it's the foundation. It's because it's a tech thing, so always we need more and more developers, and continue expanding the tech side of things, so we can do more partner deployments and integrations and whatnot. And beyond that, the second most important area, which is which is the other balance here. So the tech side on development on one side provides the technology, but then what good does a technology do if it's a vampire's land where there's no one? So we on the other side focus on business development to bring in more amazing partners and members. So that side of outreach side has also been constantly growing and evolving. So both of those are it's helping us scale and grow and open the ecosystem to more opportunities and possibilities. So yeah, that's how the growth has been in the recent period.
Okay, great, thank you. I hope this provided some clarity to the community members that are listening
And
and
also,
some assurance.
in the in the larger picture, uh, when we talk about something as big as Forward, it's not really just a couple of developers coding something and putting it out there, which others use, and so on. I mean, that's the development approach that is there in the blockchain crypto space has been the foundation for everything that we have so far. It is really great, but then one of the biggest challenges that we at Forward are solving is adoption. And to solve adoption, it's not just about getting the developed coded infrastructure out, but it is to make it easy, very, very easy for adoption to happen. So we do need people from very, very wide range of experiences. So even things as simple as a UI design or a UX designer, getting the very simple, very nice UI for everything and anything that we do, and getting people who could think about it from user experience of not an experienced guy, not someone who has been in the crypto space for 1 year, 2 year, but someone who is not from the space at all, and normal layman, and how that would look like for them. So that perspective is super critical for everything that we do. And not only that, from a psychology standpoint, understanding the human mind, understanding the perception when we design any of the contracts and platforms. Uh, so it's a much wider team and skill set, and the way this team is structured is not a linear team like in most organizations. Every member is multi-skilled. It's the one person labeled as a designer just doing the design. That's a very old school model of how things used to work. We are living in a world where people's talents across board are used, because one can, and if someone is really involved in something, it is very hard to contain them. You cannot say, okay, you need to be excited about what you do. You got to be super thrilled about working on something in Forward Protocol, but then you can only express your excitement on areas related to probably doing some memes or doing some graphics. That doesn't work that way. When people are into something, they're excited, they burst with ideas, they burst with thoughts, and wanting to do things across board. So uh, the way I see the Forward team working, it is as decentralized, and it's organized in a very beautiful way, which might look, for some members chaotic, because it doesn't have the traditional space structures of the senior juniors, the hierarchy, responsibility roles, and following a very strict model. But it is more fluid, as fluid as how the blockchain and crypto space works. People contributing ideas, people sharing, building things, bringing things to life, make being accountable for things that they do, but being also able to create things which were not necessarily told to them, because they see an opportunity, they see something is fit to be done, they do it because they equally care for what is being built. So it is a multi level of passion and commitment and skills built together in a beautiful flat structure, flat architecture. So building a company's culture, building an organization's culture, building tribe's culture is similar to building a community. The same principles apply, the same process, or the thought process goes into it. So what we have with the members in the Forward protocol team is a reflection of how the product is. It's a reflection of how everything has been built. It's the ethos, it's the culture, and it reflects in anything and everything that we do.
Yeah, and I think that's because Forward is not a token; it's a vision. And when I look around at people that have joined the team, and even the really qualified people that have come in recently, it's amazing to see how they take that vision on, because that's how it's going to grow. And I think the important thing with UI and everything like that, because of what we're trying to think about, is finding people that have vast experience, but have the experience to keep things simple and not overcomplicated. And I remember last week chatting to a potential integration partner, and he was just asking me about UI integration, he actually asked me, he said, I've got a 76-year-old mother. Would she be able to utilize the protocol? She understands websites, she's got a platform. And I said, yes, well, that's the whole point of it. It's in making it simple enough so that you don't have to be a blockchain expert, but you can actually utilize the platform in a very native, intuitive way. And when we do that, then we've got something that really, really will be a world beater. And to get those sort of people into a team is beautiful. It's when you see people coming along with ideas and they can crystallize the idea into very simple steps that can actually be implemented and create something, then it really does blow life into that vision, and it creates that opportunity to really go out and impact a massive audience. So, yeah, the team it's been amazing to watch the synergy as we went through December, and then as the team grew, and the different skill sets that are coming on, and the people that are showing interest from the community all the time, as we find more people that are contributing in different areas. And I believe as the team grows, we're just going to have a greater diversity, and that's going to add to our strength, and it's going to really bolster the whole vision of what we're trying to achieve with Forward.
Very well said. Yes, if I can, if you don't mind, I can attest to that. We have a very diverse team, and a lot of members weren't in the blockchain space before joining Forward Protocol, and they joined Forward Protocol not because of the trend, but because of the vision, because they really liked what was being done here. And I think that really added to the diversity and to the model that we're using, and the different perspective that we have on things. So yeah, it's a very fun group to work with. So I have a question for that. What if a community member has a very specific skill set that they might want to put into service, into Forward Protocol service? Would you be open to striking some sort of deal and working with people from the community coming forth on a professional level?
Absolutely, we want to hear from people. Definitely, we'd love to hear. We'd love to hear from people. There are going to be so many people with different perspectives. When you look at what Forward is, it's not a one-dimensional product. It's got multi uses in different sectors, etc. And people have different perspectives. They're going to come from different spheres, different experiences, and some of them will be our greatest contributors. So if you have got a skill set, whether it's in business development or in tech or whatever it is, creativity, reach out to us. Let us know, because we want to talk to you. And we're seeing some of these skills come through the different contests, and people reaching out to us privately that have said, they might not be into the sort of blockchain crypto space, but they're more into the utility. How can they actually utilize the protocol to solve use cases, and giving us ideas? So if you've got skill sets and things that you want to talk about and you want to put in front of us, please feel free to reach out to us. We really are open to it, and we'd love to connect and see if there's a fit.
Great. Key, would you like to add anything?
No, that's perfect. That covered everything. Perfect.
Okay. So before we wrap it up, let's see if we have any questions from the community. I already have a request, which you can go ahead and talk to us. What is your question? What is your remark? You can unmute and talk. You have speaker access. No? Okay, anyone else? Any other questions that you want to address to Key and Mitch? I guess not. Okay, wait. I guess we do. Go ahead. Okay, I think Twitter Spaces is new for all of us, and there's some coordination issues. Okay, go ahead and drop the questions in the Telegram chat if you would like, and we will address it. Mitch, Key, thank you very much for all your questions and your time.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. It's always lovely chatting to the guys, and thanks for your interest, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being here and giving up your time.
Thank you, everyone. Till next time.
Thank you.
Yes.